What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, kids of all ages? Welcome to my first ever YouTube channel, my first ever YouTube video. It's your boy Savvy Nation, maybe in other platforms, also known as Savvy Management, but welcome, welcome, welcome. Now, before I start, I want to say I am not a financial advisor, I'm not a professional. Every investor must be able to practice due diligence and risk management. Today, I'm going to take a quick look on ticker symbol OCGN, Ocugen Inc. Let's get started. The volume the past couple of weeks have been dropping significantly due to the market correction. It is not Ocugen's fault. There is a variety of factors. Again, market correction, people buying to Dogecoin or cryptocurrency and that sort. And just a variety of factors. A lot of small cap corporations are being nailed right now. So that's something to keep in mind. In terms of the chart, we're looking at the 6 month here. Right here is when Ocugen Inc. and Bharat Biotech announced that they're going to be collaborating for the commercialization and distribution of COVAXIN in the US market. Right here, when it went down and it went back up, around February is when I believe Ocugen has signed the DA, definitive agreement, basically putting it on fine print. When that news came out, it just skyrocketed. I mean, just absolutely skyrocketed. And it was a lot of hype with the stock. And knowing that, taking a looking at NVAX, Novavax, $100 or $300 stock, everybody's excited for the COVID space. So, but with the market correction, obviously it just kept on going down. We are now hovering about 578. Will this go lower, you may ask? I want to say yes. I'm not a professional, but I do want to say yes. There is more room for downside, unfortunately, due to this market correction. Now, a quick overview of Ocugen. Obviously, Ocugen has been known for the ophthalmology space, but since they don't have any approved products or drugs in the market, having COVAXIN, an Indian vaccine, is like the saving grace of this corporation, believe it or not. And let me explain why. If you look at Ocugen's overview, again, Ocu 400, 410, and 200, they are novel orphan, ophthalmology space drugs. But to have approval in the FDA, it's going to take like 2024, 2025. It's going to take a long time. And I forgot what Ocu number it was, but they did fail on one of them. So to be honest, a lot of investors are not are not too inclined about these ophthalmology spaces. They're just focusing on COVAXIN because that's where the money hits. So for that purpose only, I'm just gonna emphasize on COVAXIN only. So COVAXIN from Bharat Biotech, indigenously developed vaccine from India. 81% efficacy in phase 3 interim trials. Phase 1 and 2 demonstrated significant, safety and immunogenicity in India. It could prevent UK variant, and one of the things that people have expressed with COVAXIN is that not obviously it's an inactivated vaccine, so having the inactivated vaccine feature, it could prevent not just the UK variant but the South African and Brazilian variants. And taking a look at the leadership team, obviously the sexy Indian man Shankar Musunuri is our chief executive officer. VJ used to be part of the FDA, so pretty strong, potent leadership team. Again, I'm not getting into the retina space. I'm getting into the vaccine. Well-established scientific advisory board. A guy like Bruce Forrest, who I saw in the conference, I believe 2 3 weeks ago. He's formerly with Wyeth, but obviously Pfizer owns Wyeth. It's a formerly subsidiary company, wholly owned subsidiary company. One of the key catalysts, if you're ever going to bring a drug into market with the FDA, is to submit an IND or a master file. Ocugen has already done that, so that is a very great thing that Ocugen is working extremely hard to push this vaccine into the US market, obviously, and they well know that. So, if you guys wonder, what's a master file? So, a master file is basically like an IND. It's a special document that you need to submit to the FDA so they can review it and kind of see, what the plan and what the drug is about and all the ingredients and etc. etc. It's basically the blueprint of what you're bringing to market. That is a master file. Again, Ocugen with COVAXIN, the goes to commercialize and distribute in the United States. So what we know about the United States and all around the world is that kids 12 years of age and older are suffering from hell right now. They have to stare at a screen like I am doing right now. So it's important to have the kids vaccinated before they go to school, etc., etc. And having the room temp 3 months, shelf life 2 years for stockpiling purposes or distribution purposes is phenomenal. The other three approved vaccines out in the market here in the United States don't have that flexibility. Again, the nucleocapsid protein and the spike protein, the SNN, those are the whole variant inactivated vaccine features that is most significant with COVAXIN bringing it into the US market. It could basically target the whole coronavirus, so therefore there's less percentage of mutant viral escape. So basically, if you have the UK variant or the South African variant or the Brazilian variant, there's variants in California. So it's important to have this whole variant inactivated virus vaccine because it may prevent virus escape, which is something to think about compared to the mRNA, the modern advanced ones, as you can see here. Now, uh, COVAXIN again, second half is their goal is to commercialize and receive EUA, so that's their goal. And they said 100 million doses. I read some article somewhere that it's 200 million. Don't quote me on that, but I don't think 100 million or 200 million would ever happen. It's gonna take a lot of manufacturing, and there's going to be loopholes and obstacles and a lot of things that have to go through. And I believe GSK, ticker symbol GSK, is going to be their manufacturing department. Don't quote me on that, but it's just a theory currently because Ocugen needs a space and a partner to manufacture these vaccines with. So, just a little update on recent news on April 14th. John Paul Gabriel, or Gabriel, however you want to pronounce this sexy gentleman, has been part of the Ocugen space, or Ocugen team, I should say, for manufacturing and supply chain. This is very significant. Ocugen, a young company, they are working their best to have guys like this guy for solely for COVAXIN. So that shows you that the leadership team in Ocugen is, working hard and going forward, hiring new people for their vaccine space. This guy has 25 years of industry experience, again with Pfizer and a lot of different pharmaceutical companies. Very cool. I want to talk about Ocugen's recent 8K about the shareholder approval. This is authorized shares to increase the authorized shares. Now, I would like to say authorized shares don't dilute the shares. They don't. When they issue the shares is when the dilution happens. So, for me personally, I mean, this already passed, but for me personally, I would vote for because obviously, if you're bringing COVAXIN to the market, they're going to need a lot of capital to work COVAXIN out in the United States. Because if they don't have the funds to, where are they going to get their funds? From the government? It's going to be extremely tough to have government commitments in that retrospect. In retrospect. Again, if you're in Ocugen, make sure you follow every social media page they have. It's important as an investor because they will keep you updated on everything, even the little nitpicking things, as I'm about to get into. Craig Snyder. He is the CEO of Indigo Global Corporation. He is a lobbyist, okay? And he's working with Ocugen to bring COVAXIN in the United States. As you can see, here he is with George Bush. Here he is with the best president, maybe? I mean, I don't know. I mean, my viewers have, different political, sides, but I'm not going to get into that. And here with Hillary Clinton. So, Craig Snyder has actually helped Shankar Musunuri's son. Shankar Musunuri has a son, this company called Adivite, and they manufacture and produce COVID diagnostics. And Craig Snyder was able to lobby Shankar's son to have that FDA approved. So that's always a good thing to have due diligence on any company that you're investing in. In this case with Ocugen, knowing that we have a lobbyist, knowing that John Paul is part of our manufacturing and supply chain for COVAXIN, it's just always great to see that progress. Now, for final thoughts, Ocugen, I do like the stock, but I want to say it is based off of hype and skepticism. We don't know the final answer, unfortunately. It's kind of like a coin toss. But I really do think in the United States we need another additional candidate for a vaccine. And having that whole variant inactivated vaccine from India, COVAXIN, here in the United States is definitely crucial. I do think that may happen. Again, invest with your own risk. But that is it, ladies and gentlemen, for my little quick overview of OCGN. Thanks so much. Thank y'all. Have a good day. Bless up.